part where I run through for some of the other people that have been waiting here as well. So let's dig into the GoScanner software. So I use TradingView personally for doing a lot of my technical analysis. As you guys know here so far, it's a lot easier to draw off of. It's a lot easier to see the tools, to look farther back. But unfortunately, we can't actually execute a trade off of TradingView. We need to use our MetaTrader for that. And so because of that, we decided to piggyback our software that Doug has mostly developed here off of some of my crazy ideas. And what this is going to do for you guys is tell you basically almost everything you need to know if there's a trade that meets the criteria that we'll talk about here soon. So if you guys can take a look here on the left, you guys can still see my screen here. Wouldn't necessarily call it the lazy way, Cynthia. I would call it the smart way. Yeah, saving time. More time to be lazy in that point of after that, right? So let's walk through all the information that it goes over. So let's start here on the left. It's going to tell you the symbol that we are on. It's going to tell you the specific strategy that we're looking at. It will also tell you when that pattern occurred. So we come down to our trading levels. It's going to tell you what type of an order to use, whether it be in a buy stop or whatnot. And it's also going to tell you your different areas. If you guys want the numbers right here, it's going to tell you where your entry is at, where your stop loss, right? And for these, we're looking at a swing trade. So it's going to give us, the swing trade is going to give us two different take profits, one at a 1-to-1 risk to reward and one at a 1-to-2 risk to reward. So in this type of situation, you would look to open up two separate positions, and then underneath here, it's going to do the math for you and tell you what you are risking. It's going to plot out your 1% risk in your account. This is just a demo account we've been practicing off of, so we can see that it's a $5,000 balance right now, and 1% of that is $50. So it's going to tell you your total trade size if you decide to take one position, or it's going to split it down. So in this case, right, to follow our risk management, we'd be looking at opening up two positions at 0.05. And it's going to tell you your account information. So there's two different trading strategies that the GoScanner is going to help you guys pick up. There is swing trading for you guys that are looking at, trying to catch the highs and the lows of some of those trends, where you're going to be holding on to positions for longer periods of time, more specifically looking for those high and low test candles that we talk about quite often that give us really good entries and really good risk to rewards. How many of you guys like the idea that you would have software that automatically scans over all 28 pairs for you and literally, right, you can see here, plots it out on a time frame, and if you click it in between it, it's automatically going to pull up that chart. So there's two different time frames. Actually, sorry, there's three different time frames that it should pull it up. Let's talk about the super most popular ones is going to be the daily and the 4-hour chart. So if you guys are deciding, hey, you know what, I want to be a swing trader, I want to be getting in off of these, you only have to check this software once a day, right? At the start of every trading day. So around 4 o'clock. So right when you possibly get home from work, and it's going to have all the available patterns for you listed out. And how it does that is you can see I was looking for here for a high test. We're looking at the daily action, and it plotted it out actually here today. So we can see here yesterday that we had this high test form. Okay, and from here we have our entry position just below the bottom of our low test, and just above we have our stop loss, right? We have a very close ratio that we look for, a little bit of a gap. It's highlighted here with the red arrow, and then from there we're going to have a 1-to-1 risk to reward plotted out and a 1-to-2. So actually, this is a really good opportunity that maybe we should take a look at a little bit more closely, but we were actually just talking about this US Swiss pair. So the scanner is really good for picking up, what's happening today. It's not going to take everything into consideration that we just kind of talked about. This pair here where we were talking about it pulling back and bouncing off of this long-term trend line that we had drawn in, right? Because we don't have it drawn in here, well, we can draw it in here now, but it's something to be aware about. So it's going to be picking up the high and the low test, but it's still up to you guys to kind of fill in the blanks or already have some of your drawings inputted in. So I like to use this as a tool. I usually take a look at the pair, I'll walk it over to TradingView, and then I'll still do some of my technical analysis from there. But it's in the last couple of months probably made me about 25% profit on my account from helping me pick out a lot of these pairs. So it's not going to give you all the information you're looking for. You're still required to do some. We could still totally break through this and definitely head down to here where we're going to be lining up with that other one. So it definitely helps and saves a lot of time for picking up these patterns. And I really love it. The 4-hour chart is definitely my favorite chart to take a look at. And so this is where it's actually been the most effective for me here. So again, you would just click on the trade that is occurring, and it's going to give you your entry, your stop loss, and your few take profits. How many of you guys think that if you had this tool available to you, that it would definitely help save you some time and also kind of help teach you where to put in your entries, your take profits, and your stop losses? How many of you guys are liking the idea of this here so far? Sweet. Yeah. So for you guys here so far, you know that my specific trading strategy is more of a day trading strategy. Yeah, that green arrow that we see there is just telling us to go long, right? We know that because our entry is above our stop loss, that it's going to be a long position, but it's just highlighting where that high or that low test candle happened. If you see a green arrow here, green usually means go, but in this case, it's just for us to go up. Our green candlesticks are up and the red ones are down, so it's just telling us to go up. Awesome. That actually looks like it's would be a very good trading opportunity. We would be trading into a trend line, but I don't choose to take every single one. I like to look at a lot of the other criteria and whatnot, but I don't always have a chance to take every single trade. But how many of you guys like the idea of swing trading here so far? You're saying, yeah, I don't have as much time to possibly spend, or I want to kind of focus on the swing trading and make that kind of your focus to get started. Have you guys decided before? Yeah, it seems like it might fit in better to your schedule. I know some swing trading guys that they literally trade maybe 5 to 10 days a month, and they make way more returns than mutual funds, banks will ever offer. Some swing traders can be bringing in, if you can get the right risk to rewards and be super patient and wait for those areas of value, even off of a few good trades, even 3 trades, you could still definitely make your 10% a month if that's what you're shooting for. Walter, are you more shooting for swing trading or day trading? I know Katie's a boss and she's like, I'm going to do everything. All right, Walter, swing trading is more holding trades for a period of a few days up to a few weeks. So, you can do the work once to get into a trade. It can definitely play out over a longer period of time. And day trading is usually you're in and out of a trade within one trading day. Going long is buying, going short is selling. Chris, what kind of trading are you mostly interested in, or what works into your schedule? Swing and day trade? Yeah, Walter, I know you're hungry, you're aggressive. Yeah, Chris is a boss too. I'm pretty sure all of you guys are a boss. You're all boss in my minds. We're all going to turn you into trading bosses. I got some exciting plans for you guys where you guys get to pretend to be a boss of a boss for a week. I think we are going to have a GoFX official meetup trade in possibly, let's just say, warm and tropical, if that interests you guys. But we'll talk about that more in the coming weeks. How many of you guys like the idea of getting together as a community, hanging out for a week, going over some stuff together, and also kind of living a little bit of what some people like to call the island life? Yeah. All right. Well, let's get a little bit deeper into here, and let's talk more about day trading. Let's start with what the pivot strategy is and how to use it, and what do we look for when taking trades. So with the pivot entry, this is going to actually plot out your pivot, the pivot line, your S1 and your R1, like we see a lot on TradingView. And the entry, if we're going to be going short, the entry is going to be just shy of the pivot, just to make sure that we get entered in, just like you see a lot of my trades that I send out to you guys. And it also looks to see if this 1 hour 50 EMA as well as the 4 hour 50 EMA lines up between the R1 and the S1. So what we look for here is usually a bounce. What I like to see is usually a fib retracement back up to here. The price actually has to, in order to meet the criteria, it has to be the previous day has to close below or above. In this case, we're going short, so the price would have to close here. And I want to see a pullback to the pivot, right? Get enough of the pullback and then continuation on. We can see that the trading day continued to go all the way down here to the take profit. So in this case, especially with these two low test candles, I would decide not to take the trade, right? The trade's already hit that area of value. So in this case, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend to take every trade that it tells you to take here. You still want to use your common sense and you still want to play and look at the bigger pictures, but it helps pick up the criteria. So instead of looking at all 28 different patterns, you now only have to look at a handful. For the last few days, today we've had a lot of activity here with the scanner. Some days we may only pick up a couple. So what I like to do is I like to run through each of these and usually pick the ones that look the most promising to me. Let's just run through here a couple. So we can see that again, right? The scanner the market continued just to keep blowing down until it bounced off of the S1. So in this case, I'm not interested in taking a look at this trade anymore. This would not fit my criteria. If anything, we've now broken above this phase line. So it's not really interesting to me. What I look for, usually the first thing that I'll look for, and maybe you guys, this might be a right or downer, is look for the daily direction, right? We know that we always want to be, with day trading, we always want to be trading with the trend, unless we're going off of a bounce, but we definitely want to be trading with the daily direction. So the scanner isn't going to pick that up for you guys quite yet, but you just want to take a look at the bigger picture. So for here, right, we can see that we had on the daily chart, we had some deceleration before this move up. So in this case, I would take a pass at this trade. There was a few other trades here. So we can see that, yeah, the price usually, if it's going to go all the way down and then come back, I usually decide not to take the trade. Is this indicator available on MT4 on your phone? No, the MT4 on your phone is runs completely separate. We will be coming out with a video here soon. You can actually run it technically off of your phone remotely. You'd be accessing the information through your PC. So you can set up a system where basically you're seeing the screen that your PC is. You're accessing your PC mobily, if that makes sense. But it's not plausible to build indicators like that off of the MT4 app. They are the same, but they are also completely different systems. So let's take a look at some scenarios like this. Like I said to you guys, it's not going to pick out every single trade for you. In this case, the market just continued to walk up here, right? It didn't pull back to the entry. It just kept on going up. So in this case, if you decided to place an order, the order still wouldn't get triggered. So we talk a lot about that, the criteria with having to have that pullback to the pivot. In my trading, I love these type of trades because the high probability. If the market continues to go up, that's fine. I was never entered into a trade. I was never actually put in risk. But if it pulls back and hits my entry, then it's going to enter me in, and I'm going to feel really comfortable because I'm now getting in off of a pullback and off of a new swing. Yeah, we had some news at the start of the day that a lot of the pound pairs just seem to drop. Right, we want to be looking. This accelerated down. Right, we didn't get the pullback to the pivot, so that trade was just non-existent. This happened quite a lot throughout the markets. My pound New Zealand trade seems to be doing very well. So this is what we were talking about, actually. This is the pound New Zealand. We can see that a gap down here. So the market should actually continue to drop until we get to this area. So we'll keep monitoring that trade. Just before the start of the day, right, this picked it up, this moved down, but we didn't quite get that entry as it occurred just at the start of the day. So the last couple of days have been a little bit different. This scanner works very, very, very well in markets that are trending in the continuation off of that, right? But in here, we would have been predicting to go long off of the daily chart, but looking at the daily chart and predicting that price direction, we would have been thinking it was going to be going up. So you always want to look at that daily direction and trade with that. Yeah, I was actually in off of the New Zealand dollar since yesterday at this high here. I ended up actually closing it off when it did get to this area here right before it did drop. It did kick me out. So I did actually miss out on that huge plummet right before it happened. Again, yeah, walking up like that. So it's not going to pick up every single trade. The basis of it is you want it to use it as a tool that's going to help save you a lot of time. I personally don't always look at all 28 pairs anymore. I like to walk through each of these ones, and I like to pick my favorite one. I personally only recommend to take, upwards of like a maximum of usually 4 to 5 trades a week. So narrowing it down, always picking out the very, very best trades. And for my swing trading, which is something that's becoming a little bit more strong here, it's definitely been such a wicked awesome key, as I just have to look at it. It's picking up those high and those low test candles, and it's saving me so much more time compared to having to scan through everything manually. How many of you guys like the idea of having all these patterns and all this criteria automatically plotted out for you, and then you just have to sift between a few different pairs compared to looking at all of them? Yeah. How many of you guys like the idea of automating systems into your trading? You guys should all kind of be thinking like business owners. I love the idea of McDonald's and how they can get 14-year-olds to run their multi-billion-dollar business because they have a sheet of paper that's basically a procedure, and they have systems in place to help people, to help their employees know what to do and to streamline things so they can get better and better. Over the last couple of months here through development with this, I was kind of charting it out. It's made me between about 25 to about 30% more than the trades that I would have just been looking at and picked up myself. And it's what I really like to see too is a lot of times is I'll look through some patterns, and then I'll jump onto the scanner and I'll be looking at the same trade, which really just kind of sets in, okay, I'm definitely doing something right here. So this is still in the beta version. We definitely have a lot more criteria that we're looking at entering into making this thing faster. So as time goes on, this thing can only get better and better and better for you guys. So how many of you guys would like to try out this GoScanner for yourself? Good stuff. Yeah, I'm super excited about it. So you guys will be receiving an email early tomorrow morning that's going to outline how you guys can download and install this and get your guys' first. Many of you guys are already going to get your first 30 days for free here. After that, we did talk earlier when a lot of you guys signed up about an elite membership. So we have what's called our elite membership, which is going to get you guys access to the GoScanner software, which is going to have live daily alerts. So if you guys are mostly on the swing trading side of it, if that high and low test candle occurs, you guys can set this up so you can get either an email or an SMS message sent to yourself. And then you're going to get access to, you're going to continue to get the Market Watch videos every Monday, and we're going to make this GoTV here even better, and you guys are going to get access to all of that. So if you guys like the idea of this, you're going to get your first 30 days free. Many of you guys already know this, that there's going to be a $99 a month monthly subscription occurring for this. And if at any point in time, if it's not really working out for you, you guys can go ahead and cancel that. But how many of you guys would like to get started and get your first 30 days for free to test this thing out and see if it's really going to help you guys? I want to make it my goal that I'm going to be testing this every day, and I'm even going to be posting some of my favorite trades in the Facebook group starting here of the favorite trades off of the GoScanner that I like. How many guys want to trade alongside with me? Yeah. We're here as a community. We're here to help each other. And this is just the stepping stone of what this tool is going to do for us here. So I will send out an email to all of you guys here tomorrow morning that's going to show you guys exactly how to download it and walk you through some of the basic features here again of the GoScanner. But I'm really, really, really stoked to work with you guys and to help get you all on the same track that I am, help accelerate your guys' learning curves so you don't have to make the same mistakes that I made personally when I first started out. And what's your guys' percentage goals every month? Have you guys sat down and broken down here what your goals are? Are they pretty close to what I'm at? My monthly goal is 10%. What's your guys' monthly goals? Share amount, 3%? Yeah, Cynthia, that could be, just a few simple, very good trades. You can be very, very super patient, wait for a trade, very high probability trade, right? And you can get a 1 to 3 risk to reward. You could be making 3% off of 1 or 2 trades. Katie, have we tested it, say, for a week and taking every trade that it suggests? What is the success rate then? No, I don't. My style of trading, if that happened, I'd be taking way too many trades for my comfortableness. I like to analyze the trade farther, more than what the scanner does. The scanner just helps pick up some basic criteria, but it's still up to you to decide what the overall price action is going to be. So I like to narrow it down from there. But that's something that you could definitely try out. But I suggest, from there, a lot of the scanner could be picking up multiple positions on the dollar. For me personally, I don't like to have overexposure in the market. So in this case, if we were to take every position today, for one, it's not going to actually, not every position is going to hit. We can see that in these scenarios, right? We never actually got entered into our trade, right? So not every trade is going to have an entry, just like a lot of the trades that I show you guys here every week. Sometimes they don't get hit. Sometimes they're actually, they open up kind of like this and it just continues to walk up. So this trade would have never actually triggered in that case. But I like to narrow it down. So, a lot of these you're looking at, the same trade. So the pound Aussie, the pound New Zealand long in these situations. I would only choose to take one of those pairs. Otherwise, I have too much exposure to the pound in one certain direction. Cynthia, one thing that maybe you should consider with trading, this isn't about money. This is about percentages. Investing is not about money, it's about percentages, because everything is a ratio. If you were trading, 1% risk off of $1,000 or 1% risk off of $1 million, it should be treated the exact same. So think of it, if you lost 1% of your portfolio, that is a lot easier to really, I guess, psychologically understand, right? If you were to take a 1% loss on your account, you wouldn't feel as bad as if you lost $10,000 on your account in a day, right? So try to think of it as percentage rather than capital, rather than money itself. Yeah, 5 to 10% a month. And, month after month, 10% a month, which is totally achievable, off of 5 to 10 good trades. That's really achievable. And that's why you want to pick the highest probability trades. And if there's, stack up that confidence. Go back to the first module that we talk about, that trade example of how I stack up confluence. You still want to do that within the GoScanner, but it's just definitely going to help highlight some of those patterns. So you're not spending as much time, right? Rather than looking at 28 different pairs, maybe you're only looking at, a couple days ago, we only had 3 different pairs, or one day there was only 1 pair that came up. So it's going to cut down on that time, but you still have to want to make sure that it's going to meet the solid characteristics of a good trade. 10% a month, compounded month after month is about over 200% return, which is pretty sweet. Cynthia, have you read Trading in the Zone yet? I would definitely suggest you read that, and read that a couple times. There's also going to be another book that I just personally read here this past couple weeks. It's called How I Lost $1 Million. And I will definitely post that for you guys up here. I'm actually going to recommend it in the course as well, because I think it is that awesome. Sometimes, 214%. Yeah, exactly. One thing to talk about psychology is that a lot of people always focus on the winning trades, but people never think about losing, right? Losing seems to be kind of have a negative stigma to it. But if you can cut out a few losing trades, that's really going to help boost your numbers up at the end of the day, right? If you can cut out to trades that weren't, very likely, and not take those trades, then you're going to be saving more money at the end of the day because you're not having to make up that loss. And there can be actually a lot more learned from losing a trade than there can be from a winning trade. So books about losing money are actually, I think, more powerful than trades about how people made $1 million. They talk about the mistakes not to make, and those are good things to learn. Cool. Good stuff. Well, I hope you guys have learned here a little bit tonight. I hope you guys are excited to get on board with me and using this GoScanner that both myself and Doug here. Doug has been wickedly awesome. He's been in front of a computer for, 10 hours, 10, 15 hours a day here, Doug, for the last couple of months, getting this thing up and running. 4 months, yeah. It's been a wicked awesome adventure so far. And this thing is just going to keep getting better and better and better with the way technology is happening and with the way technical trading is going these days. We're going to, for you guys that are interested in using this tool, it's going to get better and better here every month. You're going to see a lot of updates coming out from this. So anything else that you guys wanted to take a look at? Anything over the charts or anything here before we wrap it up for the night? The last trade, which one were we talking about? This one here? The reason why is the market continued to keep trending upwards. It didn't pull back to our entry position. So my specific style of trading is if it were to have pulled back to the entry, we would have had our pivot. We would have also had a pullback, which is getting in off of a higher low. And usually I like to see these line up with the fib level that you guys will see a lot in the trades that I send out. I like to see a pullback to a 0.382 fib, and then the pivot and that 50 EMA to bounce off of nicely. If you were to enter into a trade up here, your stop would have to be down here, and that's just too far away to get in a good one. So it didn't pull back to the pivot in this case. Yeah. Okay, well, I want to thank you guys for all taking the time to jump up on GoTV here. Super excited about this, and I think that we're just over halfway through July here. I think there's still going to be lots of good trades. How many of you guys are on target here for making some money this month? Are you guys still working on your demo accounts here? Working on that consistency? Have you guys taken any personal trades yourself yet? One thing that I recommend for you guys here is to start taking a look and making some of your own trades. Using this GoScanner tool and actually start executing trades, right? You want to start building up confidence to pull the trigger when you feel confident to take that trade. If you guys aren't going to be pulling the trigger and actually deciding to, take the time, actually doing an order and making an order, you're not going to build up that skill set. So, even if it's 1 or 2 trades a week, it's all about taking action with that. And work off of your demo account. Maybe your first week or two of actually deciding to make some trades. It may not go so well in your favor, but actually getting used to just setting orders and how that process is done is going to be a skill set that you guys need to build up here. So definitely take some action. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a screenshot of what you're looking at, or send me an email and ask me some questions about how I can help you guys here. When did you do that, Walter? Saturday, Sunday afternoon? Yeah. So Friday at 2 o'clock until Sunday at 4 o'clock, you can't place or close any orders. The market is closed, and you should be on holidays. You should be out having fun. You should not even be thinking about the market. That's one thing that I love about Forex trading is the market. I don't have to work on the weekends. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, you won't be able to place or close down a position during those market closure hours. It is Friday at 2 o'clock, right? That's when New York closes. And then Sunday at 4 o'clock, that's when the market opens up again. And those hours should be highlighted in the first module. There should be a link that will show you. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. I'll show you what it looks like, but the link is definitely in the course. Forex.time zone converter. So this will tell you when the markets open up. So right now, time. So many decisions. Anyways, not gonna look for this now. But if you put in your right time zone, it will tell you when the markets are open, and it tells you the hours that they are open for. Awesome. Yeah, take a look at that. Okay, well, thank you guys all for spending the last hour and half here with me. Hope you guys all have a good night. Watch out here. One thing that I wanted to highlight was we do have the central bank kind of talking about their rates. Their rates haven't moved in a while, but there could be some volatility included in that tomorrow morning. There's also some, we have that ECB press conference. So in times like that, especially under major events like this, I choose not to have any positions open if it's correlated to that pair, unless I've been holding that position for quite some time and I have it either bulletproofed or have some profit locked in. What's a good rule of thumb for closing trades at the end of the week? It's all really personally preference. If it seems very, very bullish, like if you had... I'd like to look at the weekly charts. If it seems like there's some good momentum, like this is almost an engulfing candle, right? So I'd feel more comfortable holding this longer term. So take a look at that weekly chart and just feel your bias if you feel like you could have some continuation in your direction that you're trading, as well as profit locked in. Sometimes a lot of people, and that's why I choose usually not to trade Fridays, is a lot of people close down positions before the end of the weekend, which sometimes make patterns in the market not so fluid and smooth. So for that reason, I usually close down most of my positions for the weekend, but it's all personal preference. It all depends on how much you have. I definitely don't usually recommend opening up a position at, let's say, like Friday at noon, where there's only a couple hours in the weekend, because sometimes the markets do gap. So yeah, it all depends on the position that you have opened and how much exposure you have. Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Okay, well, thank you guys all for, again, spending this time with me. Hope you have a good rest of your night, and we'll definitely get you guys all started here with the software here tomorrow, if that's what you guys want to do to help get your learning curve. I think it's going to be a great tool for a lot of you guys beginning, especially plotting out those different areas, where to get in, where to get out, and where to have your stop loss. Definitely kind of takes away some of the thinking that you have to do. That's all automatically plotted for you. So awesome. Okay. Thank you guys here for hanging out again, and we will talk to you tomorrow, and wait for the Market Watch email that's going to be sent out on Monday. Thanks again. You guys have a great night.